Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I am super excited to be able to team up with Tampax to bring you today's video. And what better video topic for today than to talk about their new Tampax cup. If you didn't already know, they've created a cup and that's what we're going to talk about today. But honestly, it makes me really happy and super excited to see that menstrual cups are becoming more mainstream and that bigger companies that have been around and in the game for a long time are getting on board and creating their own menstrual cup to add to the market. And I just think it's a great thing to have more options available to everyone out there. So today I'm just going to kind of go through and talk about my different thoughts on the cup, what I experienced from trying it out, and just kind of my general thoughts on what I think about it. So they sent me their combo package. So I have a regular flow, a heavy flow, and a nifty little case, which we'll get into all of this in a little bit. So I have my cup in here because I've been using it. First thoughts on getting the cup and seeing it and touching it and feeling it, because there's only so much you can tell from seeing a cup online and just seeing a picture of it. There's a lot that you're able to tell about a cup from touching it, testing it out, feeling it, bending around, that sort of stuff. So there were a few things that I noticed right away about the cup, and I kind of just want to go through them. The Tampax cup is firmer than other cups that I have used in the past, and so I was a little bit hesitant to try it out because I tend to sway towards soft cups and very flexible cups, and I thought this is a great opportunity to test out a more firm cup to see how it actually does compare and hold up and perform. So one of the first things you may notice is the shape, and I know it's kind of hard to see back here, but I'll give you a close-up in a minute. When you first discovered that menstrual cups are a thing, they kind of all look the same to you, but once you kind of dive in, you notice the little intricacies of each cup, and a lot goes with the design, the shape, how thick the material is, how rigid the material is, the rim, the stem, all of that. One of the first things that I notice about the Tampax cup is the more bell shape. It's much more curved out. It's more of a triangle, I would say, than a cup that kind of curves back in. But the Tampax cup is obviously similar to other cups, similar enough because this is kind of the shape that works. But the curved shape of this particular cup, they designed it this way to allow for a more snug fit, but also to still be soft and flexible enough to where it wouldn't push onto your bladder. I think it's really cool that I discovered they partnered up with a female OBGYN to help co-design the cup. They could have just picked a design and hoped it worked, but I think it's cool that they worked with someone that had knowledge of the female body and anatomy and found something they thought would really work well for women. It is obviously made out of medical grade silicone. It doesn't have any dyes, perfumes, there's no BPA or latex in it. So I feel like that covers a lot of bases and makes it pretty available to almost everyone to use. When comparing it and holding it up to the other cups I own, one thing I did notice is that it is slightly shorter than the other cups, which made me a bit hesitant because I don't know why. I really like longer cups. I find that the longer the stem, the longer the cup, the better. I have rarely had to ever trim a stem, and so I was curious to see how well this one would work when I went to take it out because of the slightly shorter stem. But it turns out that I had absolutely no issues reaching it when it came time to take it out, and it was very easy to reach in there, grab the stem, and pull it out. I absolutely love how many ridges and grips there are along the base of the cup and the stem, and they're not just like little dinky grips, like they're really solid pronounced ridges, and I just appreciate that because I think it makes removing the cup so much easier. Things are wet, things are slimy, and it's hard. You think it would be easy to grab onto a cup, but the grips really help give you something to like hook your nail onto or hook your finger onto. I think grips are really important, and I love that they have the grips along the base of the cup because there are a lot of women that will completely trim the stem off because they need just such a short cup, but they still have plenty of grips and ridges on this cup to grab from. There's a little bit of something for everyone when it comes to the grips. So it turns out when I finally did look into it that they did make the rim firmer for a reason. They made it more firm so that it will pop open more easily and also stay in place. And I think this is something that is very beneficial to those new to trying out a cup, because if you do get a cup that is too flexible, it might not pop open completely, and sometimes you have to get in there and fiddle around and kind of shove things around. But I could tell right away upon putting it in that it just really opened up to its full diameter and shape without any issues, and it just kind of slid right into place, found where it was supposed to be, and I didn't have any issues with it like moving around, moving up, and it just stayed right where I wanted it to be. I found it really comfortable when wearing it. There wasn't any jabbing or poking. Sometimes you can get that from the stem. I even did a few little like squat tests you do to see if it's in place or kind of move it into place, and I didn't notice anything when I did that. I was really curious to see how inserting it would go, because I just felt like with the thicker cup it might make it harder, but I actually really had no issue, and like I said before, it was able to get in there, open right up, and just settle into place without any issues at all. I do like to break cups in a little bit. And what that means is I like to wear them over a couple cycles, because I always find when you first get a cup, regardless of the cup, the firmness, whatever, it is a bit more stiff, and that using the cup, you know, folding it repeatedly, wearing it, just kind of moving it around allows it to, like I said, break it in a bit. And I find that that allows it to get even more comfortable with time. And so I'm really excited to see how this one wears over time, because it is firmer than the other cups I use. I do feel like clear or white or lighter colors can stain more easily, but there are, you know, countless ways to deal with staining. But I honestly could care less about staining in my cups, because I'm seriously the only person that ever sees them unless I make a video about it. And I guess Michael might happen upon it if it's out drying, but no one sees it. It's not like a necklace or a hat or something you're wearing out and about, so staining honestly really doesn't matter. But I am curious to see what happens with this cup over time, how it holds up, how it breaks in, and all of that fun stuff. I do have a story though. The first time I went to use it, went in great, it wore great, and then I went to pull it out, and I think I'm so used to more flexible soft cups that you can kind of just yank them out. But I went to do that with this one, and I think you just have to be more gentle, because I made an audible like, ooh, when I pulled it out, because it was not comfortable, because I think I just yanked it out. And I think this is one that you kind of have to go in and break the seal and make sure you pull it out gently at an angle, and I didn't do any of that. So I went in and kind of adjusted how I did it, and it was a lot better. And I think it will get even better with time and just breaking it in anymore. But yeah, it all went swell until I tried to pull it out, and then I was like, that did not feel nice. But that was just kind of user error on my part. So the sizing for Tampax is by flow rather than whether you've given birth or your age, if you kind of caught on when I was talking about the pack I got. So they have 3 different package options. They have one that is just a regular flow cup with a case, a heavy flow cup with a case, or the combo regular cup, heavy flow cup with a case, and that's the one I got. So this one that I've been talking about and holding is the regular flow. So this is the difference between the two. It is a noticeable difference, but I think having the option between the two is really great, because I think a lot of women shy away from the larger cups even if they do have heavier flows, and they go with the lighter ones because they say, oh, well, I've never had children, you know, I'm young, but then they end up either leaking or filling it up too quickly. So I think having this option is great. And so if you're not quite sure, you could always go with the combo pack, and then you could try them both out. It also came with several of these always wipes that you could put in your purse or whatever. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. I'm sure they would come in handy, but I just have kept them in the box. And can we talk about this case for a second? Normally I've just had cups that come in a bag, and that's, you know, it's fine, but I really kind of do dig this case. It's like a little compact. If you travel a lot with it or throw it in your bag, it's a great way to protect it. So it can fit either size. It has a little ledge right there for you to set it in, and it kind of squishes it together when it's closed, so it's not the full width of the cup. And I kind of wonder if you could carry both in here. Let's try that out real quick. Totally can. So you can fit both cups in there if you care to. Usually you would just need to carry one around. You think of this compared to all the tampons or all the pads that you have to lug around if you choose to go that route. And to each their own. I think it's great to have a choice, but I think having a cup just saves so much space, so much money, so much time, and just so much headache when you just, all you need is right here. So now I'm curious, has anyone out there tried out the Tampax cup yet? What are your thoughts? And if you haven't tried it out, are you curious too? I'm really excited to, like I said, break it in and try it out even more. But this is kind of after using it for a cycle and just kind of testing out. These are my initial thoughts. And I'm really impressed with Tampax. I was really hesitant with its firmness, but after trying it out and using it, it really isn't this big scary beast that I made it out to be, and I find that I can use a firm cup just as well as I can use a flexible cup. Alright guys, that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again to Tampax for sponsoring this video. Let me know if you liked today's video by giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to FemmeHead for more of me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!